Welcome to the Networking with Michelle podcast, the show dedicated on providing you the how-tos of marketing and networking strategies. Here we believe in the Jim Rohn quote, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Hey good people, Michelle Gomez here, host of the Networking with Michelle show. Thank you for tuning in, always appreciative. This episode is not planned, really going off the top. I have a lot of good news I wanted to share, and I just wanted to jump in for the next 10 to 15 minutes and do some announcements with you. Another thing is, obviously, my podcast comes out every Monday and Wednesday, and the ironic thing is I felt like I do so many interviews. Lots of times I don't insert myself and people are like, I want to hear more of you or whatever, but I'm really all about my guests and I want to keep it that way. And I shorten my announcements because my announcements can easily be 10 minutes, but I try to shorten it to about 3 to 5 minutes in that intro before I go into the interview. So I'm really considering on doing 2 episodes like this each month and just kind of be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what's going on. This is where I'm going to be at. Woo doo woo woo. You know, I'm all about shooting the breeze with you. So we're going to see how this goes. All right. So just bear with me. First things first, just got back from Atlanta last night. Went to the Traffic Sales and Profit Conference led by Lamar Tyler. Awesome event. It was based in, once again, Atlanta, Georgia. I strongly encourage you to follow this brother, join the Facebook group, and then get to an event in that order, right? So the next event, major event, is in January. Game plan, I'm already preparing to go. I already got the funds set aside, got the notifications set aside. You know, just when is the information coming out? Because I'm already going to be in Atlanta sometime in January, right? So I'm telling you to jump on board. I'm very, very proud of the Tylers. One thing, you know, there's not a lot of, when you look at the digital landscape, there's not a lot of Black people doing that, right? And then more importantly, there's not a lot of Black people in the forefront, in the leadership position that you can go to get this information, and the information is valid. It's not a fly-by-night, get-rich-quick scheme, but it's valid information, proven systems, strategies, tactics that have worked, that are current, not something that's outdated. And that's what the Tylers, not just the Tylers, but even all of the speakers that jumped on board and presented, all of them delivered. So some of the speakers, first of all, Michael Malekwicz's Profit First. Unfortunately, I missed him, but we had Amber Wright, talktoamber.com. We had Donnie and Conrad, email copy bosses, great brothers. We had Tyrone Spear, who was just on the show about a week or two ago, spoke on Amazon, and all of them delivered. Like, I already know who I'm going to work with. Like, Amber, I'm coming for you, okay? I plan on working with this sister very soon. And the funny thing is, I actually just got my bio done. Great bio, been getting compliments on it, but I want to work with Amber. So I got to really figure that out really quickly. So starting from the beginning. So Friday, flew into Atlanta. I missed the first half of the morning session, so I can't go into that. I missed Michael's session, Profit First, which I was looking forward to because I've been following this guy for a minute, but oh well. So some of the aha moments that I had over the weekend, I just want to give you a few of them. The first one is own your platform. Now, I'm blessed to already have a platform, the podcast, right? Networking with Michelle. And I've said this before. I believe I've said it on the show. I know I said it when I was interviewed on Podcasters Paradise. And my thing is, when I wrote my book, that allowed me to invite myself to other people's platform. And now that I have a platform, I'm able to invite people to the show. And whatever you do, however you want to do it, whether it's blogging, YouTube, podcasting, whatever that looks like to you, I strongly encourage you to create a platform. Even if it's your website, firstnamelastname.com, create a platform. And yes, I know the space is crowded, but you want to do things that are going to set you apart, right? It's not all about interviewing. It's, even if you have a corporate job, and you give someone your resume, if you have a website, firstnamelastname.com, and it has your resume, boom, like that's cool, because a lot of people are not doing that. Okay. And it's always talked about, but a lot of people are not doing that. So if you were to take action on that, that will set you apart. Okay. You can always change your website later. Like, yeah, I'm working on my business, but that's fine. Buy your domain name, buy your first and last name right now, buy your husband's, buy your wife's, buy the children right now. Okay. Create your own platform. Another thing Lamar goes into: build, borrow, and buy it. Yes, as I stated, it is saturated. The market is saturated. Whatever you jump into, it looks good on the outside. You jump into it, the market is saturated. Okay, so what are you going to do to build traffic, borrow traffic, or buy traffic, right? So build it organically, right? Posting, providing content, showcasing your expertise. Borrow it, social media ads, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, whatever your niche is, Instagram, buying those, I said that wrong, buying ads, right? And then borrow is, are you able to collaborate? Are you able to guest post? What are you going to do to exchange value? That way that traffic can go back to your website or your preferred platform. Okay. So those were the first things. And I knew those things, but I need to do a better job on borrowing traffic, working with people within my niche, within my space, that we can exchange value in one way or another. Now, this is another thing I need to do better. Okay. When it comes to content marketing, I'm all about it. That's what I specialize in. That's what I do. However, Lamar said something. He said independent syndication. And he was saying when he started with Black and Married with Kids, he had people that was just sharing his content from the website. So anytime he released a new content or a new product, he would keep track and go back to those people that shared his stuff in the first place. And that's something I need to do, because I have a few people that are sharing my new episodes, my shows, more so if they like the episode, which I need to do a better job watching that trend. Like, I know people, they share it, but I need to understand why they're sharing it. And so when he said independent syndication, I was just like, boom, like that's it. That's something I need to really laser focus in, because that leads to organic as well as loyalty, right? This is the beginning stages of my community development right here. And then on top of that, like, you're already sharing my stuff to your audience. I need to go back and say, hey, what can I do for you and your audience? Like, what do you want me to do? Is it jumping on a webinar? Do you want me to write or interview someone specifically? What can I do for you and your audience that you will enjoy? That way I can cater to them and continue to nurture that relationship. So that was probably one of the, so small, but probably one of the biggest takeaways that I had over the weekend. There's one more thing I want to, so I know this, I've been switching up on a few things, but I actually updated my pitch. I feel like I was challenged. One of my colleagues, my friends, Tamara Floyd, she was interviewed on here, six-figure blogger. And she was like, Michelle, do people know what you do? And I was like, yeah, of course, right? So I kind of feel like I need to go back to square one. And I need to do a better job on sharing my story. I don't think a lot of people know my story. So I want to find creative ways where I can share my story and like people know not just a podcasting story, but literally the whole story. And then also finding ways to shorten my story and how I've gotten to this point. Now, I focus on content marketing. What I've realized over the 3 years of working with entrepreneurs one-on-one and through training, everyone has a problem with not everyone, but people have a problem with social media. Entrepreneurs have a problem with social media because they don't have content. They're like, I don't know what to say. And then all of a sudden they come out and be like, oh, my book's for sale. And my thing is, you have to nurture the relationship in the beginning. So if you have content, that content is helping you nurture those relationships. That content is helping you demonstrate your expertise leading up to your book or whatever your product launch may be. So I help entrepreneurs create content that will allow them to connect with their audience, right? So whether that's launching a podcast interviews, public speaking, blogging, videos, I sit down with you and I help you with those concepts, how we're going to formulate it, what's the framework in order for you to push that on social media, because that's just half the battle. Social media is the distribution, but content is where it's at, right? So that's what I do. That's it in a nutshell. But once again, those little aha moments that I had to realize, and that was really when Amber Wright jumped on and she did her presentation, awesome presentation. It was actually great to meet her in person, and just very, very excited. I look forward, I'm going to work with her. I'm just speaking that into existence right now. Like, I'm going to work with this woman very, very soon. I just need to make up my on what I want to do in my bio. Maybe I just want to be like, hey, I've worked with Amber Wright. Maybe it's just bragging rights. But that's what I plan on doing. So that was, there was so much in the conference, y'all. I can go on and on and on. I really could. But those were the biggest highlights for me. And I got a lot of work to do, right? And I think the beauty of this conference, there's community. Like, the community's there before and after the conference. And, like, people were literally working on stuff the next day, like early in the morning at the airport. 24 hours later, people are updating landing pages. And just like one thing I was able to do, work with Dr. Tracy Powell. She's been a guest on the show. And we sat down, we discussed some book strategies and the benefits of doing podcast interviews to promote your book, right? So now she's putting stuff together to help 700 authors that she's connected with on Facebook off the rip. And she's like, well, Michelle, I'm going to be sending people to you. So not only am I working with her, but she's also sending people to me. Like, that's the type of environment that Traffic, Sales, and Profit has. Or let me say, that's the type of community TSP has. What else? So much. Jamal Miller, great story on how he went from food stamps to $500,000, 500,000 in 1 year. He talked about the 4 types of profit centers. Stage one, establish your purpose. Stage 2, identify your people. Where's stage 3? I think I missed the stage. Oh, stage 3, master your people's problem. Stage 4, create the product. Stage 5, promote the product, right? And then the 4 profit centers are, the 4 types of profit centers are daily cash, weekly cash, monthly cash, and then annual cash, right? So I'm like, dang, what I got to do to create all these kind of cash flow, these incomes coming in, right? Daily cash, weekly cash, monthly cash, and annual cash. And he has a beautiful story. I'm just flipping through my notes here. Let's see. Oh, so one of the things I came away with in the middle of the conference, I can't remember if this was Friday or Saturday. I'm going to create a content marketing masterclass, and it's actually, it originated from a 1-day VIP session that I pitched to one of my clients, that we're still kind of working out right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down, take some elements and call it a content marketing masterclass. I had already reached out to some venues over the weekend. One of the venues got back to me. I'm kind of like, in my mind, I'm like done, because I didn't expect I was going to get it for a good rate. And so that's what I'm going to do. In a couple of weeks here in Houston, put a content marketing masterclass. I'm only inviting a few people, exclusive event. I'm talking about it now, but I'm still working out some things. If you're interested, shoot me an email, right? But it's going to be very limited. I'm only going to reach out to like 14 people, right? Very exclusive. This is not something that's going to be blasted on social media. This is not even going to go through an email list. It's going to be a handpicked type of training, right? And then that's going to allow me to do some one-on-one consultation. within, or let me say, it creates a better environment for Q&A instead of having a room full of people. So that's what I came out. Well, that was my idea that I started working on right away when I was in the conference. So I'm working on that. Plan on having the sales page, not even a sales page, but having the framework mapped out and shoot that email to people within the next couple of days. Let's see here. So that's it. Traffic, Sales, and Profit 2017. I think with all of that, with all of the strategy and tactics that were discussed, it was really good to just put all of these names to some faces. Finally meeting people that you've been sharing and exchanging value with in Facebook for probably for the past year and a half. I'm on people's email list and all this type of stuff, and it was like, it's good to see you. It's just refreshing because I'm interviewing you, or we've been chatting one way or another. We're Facebook friends, and now we finally get to meet. So shout out to Donnie, Tyron, Dr. Tracy Powell. Now I feel like I'm forgetting people. But Amber Wright, I heard her speak online before this past weekend. People that I met 2 years ago at the Blogging While Brown conference. Shout out to Gina. I ran into them at Traffic, Sales, and Profit, so it was good catching up with those people. And then the new people, I can go on and on. It's just a beautiful thing. It was just a beautiful thing to see Black business, Black excellence under one roof, successful, getting money. It was just a good thing. It was just a great thing. I'm telling you, Traffic, Sales, and Profits, where you need to be. Mr. J. Jackson, we're in the same mentoring group with Paul Brunson. One of my other colleagues, Victoria, she's also in the mentoring group with Paul Brunson. Had a chance to meet them there. I feel like I'm missing people. Like, look, charge it to my head and not my heart, okay, if you're listening. But Traffic, Sales, and Profit, Lamar Tyler, I'm telling you, that's the Facebook group we need to be in. But only if you're ready to take action. If you're not ready to work, you don't need to be there. That's what it is. All right. So that's the recap. Got some announcements to make, things that are going on this month. This weekend, my good friend, I interviewed her last week, Holly Charles. Her play is being released this weekend, Friday the 16th to Sunday the 18th. In All Thy Getting. So if you're in Houston, Texas, please come out and support. If you're not in Houston, Texas, please donate. Yes, please donate. In All Thy Getting is a story about Friesman Town here in Houston, and historical story that this is not a story that I read growing up, right? I'm not from Houston, or I didn't go to school, primary school or whatever here in Houston. So I don't know if this was taught. I don't know if this is Houston/Texas history, but I'll say this is not a story that is taught growing up when it comes to Black history, right? I've always heard of Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, but not necessarily Friesmantown and Save the Bricks, but how you take a group of Black people and it's kind of like you just put them in the worst condition and you're like, fend for yourself, and you think they're not going to do nothing, but always we rise. We always rise. That's what I love about us. We always rise, right? So they build it up. Free slaves, they build up the town, and unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but it's gone down, and there's so much richness and history and culture there. And once again, if you're in Houston, I want you to come out, support the play. There's, I think, like 5 shows over the weekend. It's Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, and Sunday night. So please, please, please support the culture through attending the event or donating. And the tickets are anywhere from $25 to $40, depending on the time that you decide to come. All right, next up, I have Saturday, June 24th, QueenLyfe Sip and Share, Tribe of Healers. Actually, this Wednesday, I'm going to release the interview I did with Candace Strother. She is the founder of QueenLyfe, a nonprofit based here in Houston, Texas. Her event is Saturday, June 24th. Be on the lookout for that. You will get those details in the interview on Wednesday. It's coming out Wednesday, okay? So meet me there as well if you're in Houston. Donate to the cause, nonprofit supporting women and when it comes to living a better life. All right, so once again, be on the lookout for that interview on Wednesday. All right, Saturday, August 5th, I have the Houston African American Bloggers Annual Bootcamp, Creating Influence Through Content. I'm on the leadership team. Tickets are already on sale, and I believe the tickets right now are $35. And we have a keynote speaker, Tristan Sun, talking about social media and personal branding. We have Juan talking about influencer marketing. That's a very hot topic right now. We have a panel on the future of blogging. What everyone talks about turning their blog into a business, and we talk about the different opportunities that can come out, not just the blog, but being a content creator. Okay. We also have a panel on video and technology and how to create content with that. So it's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to that one. HoustonAfricanAmericanBloggers.com. Tickets are $35 right now. Once again, that's Saturday, August 5th. These are the 3 events I will be at, I guess, over the next 6 weeks. So I want to encourage you to come out, support, donate, whatever capacity, whatever relates to you. Get involved. I want to see you there. All right, so I think that pretty much covers it for me. Man. So be sure to check out michellegourmet.com. Networking with Michelle. It's on Apple. It's on Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, anywhere in between your earbuds you can find me. Look, I'm willing to work with you. If you just want to tell me how good the show is, drop me a line. Connect with me on Instagram at Michelle Gourmet, NGOME. I look forward to hearing from you. Remember, I believe in you, and a personal connection leads to an influential network. So thanks for networking with Michelle.